All right, everyone. What I have for you today is Piper Sandals. These are sandals that I heard about a few years ago, and quite frankly, I'm not normally a sandal guy. These are excellent, though. I started getting into the idea of quality goods, buying things, buy it for life, leather goods that you can maintain and keep them of good quality, resolable shoes, things like that. I taught myself leather care through talking to different people and uh, YouTube and internet boards and cobblers and even a leather bag factory owner. But since then, my wife and I have both gotten into the idea of quality goods that we don't need to just replace all the time, and that we can actually like, that aren't just durable and long lasting, but that we actually enjoy more than, say, the standard good you'd buy off the shelf at a box store or in the mall or something like that. So she likes sandals. I didn't. Um, she got a pair, and well, after a while, I was sold because I saw what quality they were. These are Piper sandals. I post about these on forums and things here and there, just as a fan of the company and of well, not so much the company, but of Dave Piper himself. It's a family-run business. They do trade shows and things like that, carnivals, fairs, all of that type of thing. So their summer and spring season is very busy, and leading into early fall. When you order them, they will take a long time, but I'll get into that in a minute. Um, Sandals, they're all leather. They're all leather construction except for the bottom, which is foam, and it's a Vibram sole. Um, if you don't know what Vibram is, it's a sole company. They tend to make very quality soles, things that usually end up being resolable. They're they last longer. They're more durable than other soles that are even similarly made. Their style may be imitated, however, their quality doesn't seem to be very often. As far as the sandals, they're not really complicated. This is a pair of my wife's, one that she hasn't worn yet, actually. Um, I got her quite a few different colors as an anniversary present the one time, and as you can see, you can mix and match colors. This is a purple, burgundy, and black, and then the other pairs I have here are my own. She has a few different colors. She has a green pair, she has a blue and red pair, and a brown pair, and I believe an all black, or no, a black and brown pair, which actually matches a purse that she carries quite often. But that's for another time. So anyway, this is a brand new pair, and they come. She ships them in newspaper, just like this, and this is exactly what they come like. You get them. These haven't been adjusted yet or cut. You get them, and you have to adjust them to your foot. You put them on. This goes through here, and then you decide where you're at, and then you snip this accordingly. You can hit it with a lighter or something, just kind of burnish the end a little bit. It's not going to unravel or anything. It's just a solid strap of leather. It's full grain leather. Okay. The one thing about Piper sandals, they're resolable. They will resole them. They cost a little over $100 a piece, maybe about 125, I believe. But they resole them, I think, for 70. They have a resole service. The soles last a long time, though, as I'll show you on my pairs. What they are, they'll replace the strap if they break for life. The strap comes through. It's all one piece. All of this burgundy you see is all one piece. It wraps around underneath the footbed. The footbed has the foam in there, and it forms to your foot with the leather. It's excellent. It's very squishy when you first get. Well, not I wouldn't say squishy, but it feels almost like walking on clouds when you first get them, and then it just forms to your foot, and it's just perfect. They end up just feeling like a second shoe on your bare foot, which is so unusual, and that's partly why I dislike sandals so often. Um, so this one strap, they'll replace this if it ever breaks, which is great. That free lifetime free replacement. These are the little straps that hold the back if you get the style that these are, which are the ones with the back strap to hold them on, an ankle strap. This pair here does not have an ankle strap. So you can see it doesn't have the loops. It just loops to itself. So this is all literally one piece. There are no loops even holding for the ankle strap on these. They have embossments on them that say pipersandals.com and a style number. I'm not sure if it's a patent number or not. And then an individual number embossed in as well. All of them have that. They all have a slight variation between the three that I have here. Oddly, the first pair that I received, which were the ones with the back strap, are more similar to her pair here that she hasn't worn, even though I bought this other pair without the strap in between them. Um, Either way, it says Dave Piper and Son on the heel here. Not sure if you can see that. And their website, I believe, is pipersandals.com. That's Piper sandals.com. It's an informative website. They have a foot measuring tool you can print out on there, or you can email them for a flyer and it'll have the tool on it. And it's pretty accurate. I would suggest using their recommendation. As far as sizing, I took a 12 in these. Normal shoes and boots, I take a 12 to maybe a 12 and a half, depending on, what types of socks I want to wear with them. But obviously these are sandals, so that's not a problem. All right, as far as care, you can just condition them once in a while and give them a scrub when they need it. However, uh, I tend to use full leather care with them, which would mean hitting them with a leather cleaner or like saddle soap, or I use Lexol leather cleaner from time to time. Hit them with that, let them dry, then hit them with conditioner. Again, I use Lexol, but there's, Bic 4, leather honey, all sorts of things, mink oil, whatever you want to use. Just make sure you condition them. That can be enough. That's fine. Leather, has a bit of a natural resistance to water. It's skin after all. However, it will take on water if you're in heavy amounts of water. So, the one time I wore this pair to a football game, which normally isn't my style at all. I rarely ever wear sandals out of the house. But it was going to be super hot and it was going to rain, so I figured why not? So I wore them and I hit them with a quick coat of paste wax, just some neutral paste wax, and that worked out great. They, didn't take on much water at all, and my wife's, conversely, her brown pair did take on a lot of water and took quite a few days to dry out, but then we conditioned them up and got them back to looking good. The sometimes dry leather can be, pretty rough, but as long as you get on it and condition it, it usually tends to hold well. All right. I wear these around the house mostly. Rare I wear them out. If I do, I clean them immediately after. Um, but you can see that around the house, I've worn this pair for almost 3 years, and you can still see quite a few of the little Vibram symbols. You can only see a little wear around the heel as far as the rubber wearing. Same up the front, very minimal. And by saying 3 years, I mean 3 summertimes. So about a year's worth of wear. And the other pair that I've had the longest, there's a little more wear, but I did wear them to a football game, as I mentioned. Um, they're a little more worn in, but still very similar. You can still see Vibram throughout most of it, and they're a little older. Um, they hold up great though, and obviously the originals, again for reference, look like that. You'll notice they'll squish down a little. These are a little puffier, kind of. I mean, you can't really press too much on them, but you can notice if you look at them side by side that it's compressed. That'll happen when your footbed molds into it. You can see on this, there's no molding of a footbed. It just sort of looks puffed up as far as the footbed leather. Whereas this one, you'll see some indentations from arch, heel, and toes and such. Um, Highly suggested though. Absolute buy it for life sandals. They're wonderful. Dave Piper is wonderful to talk to. You can get them customized. Like I said, he doesn't do returns on those. If for some reason they don't fit on these, they do returns. They do custom foot as well, shapes if you have an odd shaped footbed. I know some older folks out there have some major foot problems, and a lot of times they need something. I mean, maybe younger too, but usually I see it with older folks. Maybe they need something, with kind of an oddball shape or something a little more orthopedic shaped. He can work on that too. They're all made by hand. He makes them first come, first serve. So when you order them, he puts you in a pile of invoices, and the next person through, he does the one that's, on the top. Every order that comes in, you get put on the bottom. It's just first come, first serve, no favorites. You can't pay him more to get ahead or anything like that. He ships them when they're done. If you order them in the summertime, it's gonna take probably 2, 3 months to get them. Um, I've ordered them in the fall. I ordered her pairs. It took about a month and a half to get them. A couple different pairs. He makes, maybe 4 or 5 a day with him and his son. That's it. That's what they can pump out, and they're making them by hand on a machine. I mean, the stitching I'm sure is some sort of machine, probably very similar to what a cobbler would use. But otherwise, they're threading the loops through by hand and cutting all the leather by hand and forming all the soles and grinding them down accordingly so that they match up well. Highly suggested. Absolutely buy a pair of Piper sandals. You know, if you're a shoe and boot person, sometimes you just need sandals. Beach, summertime, walking the dog, whatever. You just want something you can throw on quickly. That's why I bought the pair of slip-in ones after having the ones with the back strap. You can just slide the back strap over, but just for taking the dog out all the time, it was just so much more convenient for having the lack of back strap. So I bought these, and I've since lost my dog, which is a little icon up there, which miss them every day. But either way, now they're mostly just for around the house and stuff, like I said, and they hold up great. They're excellent, and they're comfortable every time you put them on. Thank you, and take care.